Hi, I'm Erin Dodge, Communications Specialist here at the library. Today, I talked with Mary Ellen Brax. She's the Public Services Manager for our kids and teens, and she was talking with us about 3 new digital resources for young learners. So stick around and learn more. Welcome, Mary Ellen.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Great. We're talking about our 3 new digital resources for young learners.
Yes.
And let's just jump right in. The first one is called Scholastic Teachables, or we just kind of call it Teachables around here.
Yeah.
What is that, and who uses it, and how is it used?
Well, it's for adults, and it's
Okay.
actually for teachers and for, if you're homeschooling your kids at home.
Okay.
What it has is it has actual lesson plans in
Oh.
it. So, and a lot of other things. But, so basically just think of any topic, basically, there will be a lesson plan for.
For teachers and parents, but like they're teaching what age of kid?
Oh,
Kiddo?
it'll be from preschool on up through, I think it was elementary school.
Okay.
And so it's nice because you can go through and filter it by what grade you are. So you can do it by subject, by genre. You can search by Common Core standard or by subject area. So they do tie in all the Common Core standards too. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, they have for families, they have something called a family hub, and you
Okay.
can go in by grade. And they have these, they're called thematic packs. So that includes your lesson plan. It tells you what the purpose of the lesson plan is for, of the activity or lesson plan. And then it gives you resources used, and it also has some suggested uses of how you can use the lesson plan. But then underneath all that, it tells you all the Common Core standards that lesson plan may hit.
Okay.
So that could be useful if you're, as a parent, you're trying to get used to those Common Core standards, or
Right.
if you go to a conference and they say, oh, this is the Common Core that your child's still working on and maybe
see.
struggling with a bit, you could maybe call up some lesson plans to see how you could support that and kind of work on that skill at home. But they also have things like seasonal images, clip art.
You know what? We have it here.
There you go. So you'll see up at the top, there's different subject headings where you can search by topic. Differentiated collections. So I needed to look and see what that was. But basically, it's leveled math and reading collections.
Okay.
So that's really helpful in terms of if there's a specific area where you need some extra support in working with the kids. And then you can filter on the left-hand side there. You'll see all the filters.
It even says the grades, so
Yep,
you can know like which grade of Common Core they're working on.
Right, and
Okay.
on the left-hand side there, you'll see you can
filter.
choose your grade level there.
Okay.
You can go
Look at all that.
through. So it includes worksheets there for you to use
Okay.
in addition to the lesson plans if you wanted to use worksheets. There's games that you can play. Instead of a worksheet, sometimes a game might be better
Yeah.
for a lot of students because it gets that practice
Right,
in
and
there.
when they're enjoying something,
Right.
they're kind of they're learning.
Yep, they're learning the whole time they're playing. There's also some little mini books in there too.
So this is the family hub you were talking about.
Right.
Okay, mini books. Let's go to mini books.
And so, yeah, you can print those off or read them online. So they're just about the different topic areas that you may be researching
Oh,
and
pumpkins
looking.
grow. So that's
Yeah,
kind of a seasonal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you can see there they go
Oh.
from the lower level on up to, older grades
Right.
too. So, yeah, it's a nice resource if for teachers, if they were like, gosh, I just want something a little extra.
Right.
I have a couple students struggling in this, they could print out a lesson plan that might work well for them,
Right.
but then you can really tailor it. And the same thing for, homeschoolers, you can tailor it to your
So I
to
could
your
see
child.
this being like you had mentioned if a child's struggling in a certain area, and like a parent goes to a conference and
Yeah.
or has a meeting with the teacher and,
Yeah.
and they say, oh, this is the area, this would be helpful. I also was thinking summer.
Oh, yes, if you want to keep
If
your
you wanna
child's skills up during the summer.
Print off the workbooks, worksheets,
Yeah.
different things, and yeah,
Yeah.
keep it going.
Right. I remember my mom used to buy us all the workbooks that we had to work through during the summer.
But there's some really fat ones.
Yeah, there are. But this
really
way
thick.
you can at least do it. It's not so daunting, I would say, if you
Well,
could just print it off.
yeah.
Oh, here, let's just practice this.
Yes.
This looks like kind of fun
Big
sheet to
book
do.
always was daunting. Like,
Yeah.
I got to do all of that this summer. Like, really felt like a drag.
Yeah.
And also, it sounds like, what's fun about this, you can really pick and choose.
Yes.
And if you're like, oh, well, I know this child's not going to want to learn about
Right,
this, but
right.
they really love this, so let's pick this lesson.
Right. And there's so many topics. So just if your child had an interest in something and you weren't really sure what to do, you can go in. So there's things like there's nature. They do shapes, weather.
Oh, yeah, look at all these.
Yeah, music. All sorts of
Look
things.
at those themes. And
Yeah.
then it looks like you can, like holidays and celebrations.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You can expand that and probably get a ton more.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at all that.
Yeah. And
Wow.
then they go, and then you see the grades over on the left, how high
Yes.
the grades go up. So
Wow. Wow. That's a lot.
So yeah, there's just some. It would be a great thing for the summer, like you said. It would be a great thing just to, add some value into what they're already doing at school and extend the learning there through that. And then, for teachers, if they're like, oh, yeah, I just need something a little extra for my students, this might be a good way to go.
Begin your adventures at the library. Borrow a Checkout Washington Discover Pass backpack or our new birding backpack to explore our stunning state parks and get a look at the birds of the inland Northwest. Kids can delve into the wonders of their own backyards with one of our STEM Explorer kits. Take the whole family on a cultural journey with our family museum passes to Mobius Discover Center or Northwest Museum of Arts and Culture. Sign up for guided hikes along local trails to learn more about our natural spaces. Check out a pickleball set and head to a court near you. And be sure to visit our mobile library link at a community event. At Spokane County Library District, your next adventure starts at your local library.
So another new resource that we have is BookFlix.
Yes.
And it sounds like it's maybe books and movies with the word flicks, but really it's not. It's more interesting than that, I think. You wanna share what BookFlix is?
Basically what it does, it's strengthening those early literacy skills, and they use it through nonfiction books.
Oh,
too.
okay.
So they pair a fiction story with a nonfiction book. Okay. And when you click on it, you get them in pairs, so you can read the story first. And actually, the story is animated. And so it's a book, but do you remember the old film strips we used to watch in school by Weston Woods?
Sure.
It's Weston Woods
who
has brought these
modern day
stories to
Weston
life.
Woods.
Yeah, with little characters that move
fun.
or backgrounds that move. And then they pair it with a book that relates to it that's nonfiction. Okay. So, for instance, there's one that's called Bear Snores On by Karma Wilson, one of my favorite picture books. Okay. Got cute animation in it. But then the nonfiction ebook that they pair it with is called A Bear Cub Grows Up.
Oh.
And so then you can read it also. You can read along as they read it.
Oh, nice.
Also, you can, there are quite a few titles in Spanish also, which is really a nice.
We have that up too. I'm just gonna. Okay, I can.
And so it's a lot of fun. So once you watch the little film of the book, and then once you read the story, then there'll be a menu on the side that will bring up games and different things you can do there. So many books to choose from there.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Bear Snores On one.
Yeah.
That you were just talking about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's another one, Goodnight Gorilla, if you remember that book, and then about a zookeeper.
So you watch the story, which is more of a fictional, animated picture book,
right?
And then you learn more about that subject.
Yeah, you learn more about that subject, and then you can see on the left-hand side there's all sorts of other things you can do there.
Oh, like a word match, fact or fiction, which came for. Oh, nice.
And then there's even some information about the author and illustrator too of the books there.
Meet the creators.
Right. So, I mean, a lot of fun. I love the pairing of the fiction with the nonfiction.
Yeah, because
it's just a different way to
some
go
kids will
about it.
really be, they want to know all about something, like
Right.
bears or trucks or whatever. That, and this is a way to sort of feed
Right.
that curiosity.
And it's great if you've got kids of different ages too, because the younger one might like the fiction story a lot, but then your older one, I mean, my boys always tended to go for nonfiction once
Okay.
they got to reading on their own. So they would have been interested in the nonfiction book
Right.
too. And then, then you can go to, if you want to do some games with them. And so it just extends that reading, which is really helpful for solidifying concepts that are introduced in books. If you can actually not only hear it, but then
And then you were
answer some
saying they
questions.
read the book. Are the words?
The words are
kinda-
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're seeing
follow
the words
along.
as you're hearing them. So it's that helping that
Yeah.
literacy, that
Right. As you
Learning
can
to
see the
read,
words, you
yeah.
can see how they go from word to word. And so it gives kids a good sense of, oh, okay, this is what I need to do when I'm reading the book.
awesome. Very cool.
Right. So, there's all sorts of topics too. Of course, we came in with the animals, but there's earth and sky, there's adventure, music and rhythm, people and places.
Oh, fun.
Which I thought would be really fun. Family and community.
Nice.
And then there's imagination too. So anything your child may be interested in is going to be included in here. And then that nice pairing. And it's nice to introduce kids to nonfiction because once they get up into a certain point in school, you
Right.
shift from that fiction to that
Absolutely.
heavy nonfiction.
You do.
And it gives them some practice with some comprehension or retaining some information from the book to play the games.
Oh, and
too.
people and places. So it's historical figures.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Yeah. So this
Celebrations.
It was very different than anything we had. So when
Right.
we were looking at them, we were like, "Oh, I think families and teachers might really like
I
this."
think so.
Yeah.
Sounds
So,
good.
so a really fun one.
It makes me wish my kids were younger.
I know. It felt a little weird as I was watching them at my desk, going, "Yep, this is my job. I kind of like this," you know.
Our Tuesday memory cafes at North Spokane Library are friendly weekly gatherings that offer a community space for those navigating memory loss and their caregivers. Every Tuesday at 11 a.m., stop into the library to connect and participate in activities, all selected to promote mental acuity, health, and wellness. Memory cafes are a comfortable way to connect with other caregivers and people experiencing memory loss. Be part of something special where understanding and support go hand in hand.
The third new online resource we have is aptly named Just for Kids.
Yes.
Now, this is a little different than the other two we've talked about,
Right.
and this is some TV movies that are just for kids. Why might parents want to use this resource than other streaming platforms like YouTube or anything else out there?
It's all ad free.
There
So
you
there's
go.
there's no ads in there. So I mean that's a real plus
Yes.
with that too. So, it's once you take all the ads out, you really realize how short a show
Sure.
show is. So if you've got a child with some, they love to watch things, but their attention span isn't that long, that's another plus that I could see there. But really, I think keeping the ads out of it is something, it's why we watch PBS, the PBS kids shows,
there's-
they're
I was gonna
included
they're
in this. So there's Arthur in here, Daniel Tiger,
Got me excited. I'm going to click on it.
Roly-Poly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then there's the
They also have it
standards.
categorized.
Yes.
Look at that. Sesame
Yep.
Street, Yep.
Yeah, Sesame Street is in
Wild
here.
Kratts.
Electric Company.
Yes.
That's an oldie but a goodie. Reading Rainbow.
Yes.
And there's some HBO shows in here too.
Well, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, some
Yeah.
kids are going to be so excited to see that.
Yeah, there were a lot of things
Berenstain
in here.
Bears, Franklin.
There's Dr. Seuss things in
Yeah.
here. Franklin has always been really popular.
Wow.
So, yep, lots of different things in this one. So you've got the early learning, you've got nature. There's even some homework help in here.
Well, and if they watch more than one show, you don't have to be afraid of what's coming up next.
Right.
Like you would on
Right.
just a
Yeah.
YouTube or something, like, what are they going to show my kid next?
Yeah.
Everything in here has been vetted. I mean, it's
Yes,
all
it's just for kids.
just for kids.
Yeah, just
There we go again, aptly
Yeah.
named.
yeah. And they have, so you got your TV shows and your movies, but you've also got things like world language and health and PE. We saw the peoples and places. There's video field trips. That's the LeVar Burton Kids one.
Yeah.
So you could go to aquarium. I mean, the one I pulled up was an
Oh,
aquarium
there's a whole
one.
section called Homework Help.
Yep. Yes.
Wow,
So
okay.
different ideas. It could be science, history. Yeah, there's some math things in there. I know
Wow.
there was some Common Core in there too. So you
Another-
could go in and pick out things,
Yeah.
and then, but you don't have to. You can walk away for a minute and
go
come
do some
back, and
dishes
you're
and
not
come
going
back.
to. You're not
be
going to
like,
be
"What are
worried
you
about what's
watching?"
the next thing that's
Right.
come up. So I think that's what the beauty of this is too, and you can get it to that age group or to what their interest is.
Yes.
Too, and then you can put it away. You know.
Yeah. I remember when my son was younger, he wasn't interested in anything that was super, like, more adult. Like, he wasn't that kid that wanted that. He was like, oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah. My kids usually watch their show and then they were on to playing.
Right.
But, now, it's just that continuous loop that goes on a lot. So this way, at least you've got some control where you can say, oh, yes, we're going to watch for 30 minutes, we're going to watch 2 segments and then our TV time is done for the day,
Yeah.
type of
Right.
thing. So that makes it a lot easier for parents. And it basically covers pre-K through elementary school.
Okay. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So we've shared these 3 resources. Let's talk about if parents are looking for some other resources and they're having trouble finding them. How can the library help with that?
Well, you could always come into our buildings.
Yeah.
That's always, come and talk to one of us. We're happy to help you find things. If you're just looking for factual, like a quick factual answer, you can always do I think it's Ask a Question, Ask a Librarian. And it's
Right.
just that the Ask a Librarian's for simple factual questions that you need
Yes.
answered quickly. But then you can also book a librarian for a more in-depth
Right.
question, too.
That's where you schedule an appointment
You
at a certain
schedule-
time at a certain library,
Yeah.
and then they work with
Yeah,
you.
if you give
to
them
talk
a
about
heads
your-
up about the topic, they can do a little bit of research
How
to
about
make
we
sure.
have a new form that's going to say, like, what's your topic, and give us some
Right.
information, and they'll. I believe they make sure that they've got that ready to go for
Right,
you.
right, right. And then they'll show you how to do the research so you can do it the next time yourself and how to
Yes.
do things. So it's not something where you come in and they do it completely for you, but they'll
teach you.
They'll do some,
work.
education on, so that the next time, if you had a question, you could start it yourself. But of course,
Right.
as always, we're always here to help you answer questions.
Well,
so.
and when I'm learning something new, I always, if it's hands-on and someone's showing me, and then like, okay, now you do it,
Right.
and you try to find a topic or whatever it is. That's how I learn.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people kind of learn that way, more
Right.
hands-on.
yeah.
So I think that's great that you
Yeah.
have that option at the library.
And you can also do the homework help that we have, where you go in and you can, and that's all like an online tutoring system.
This is a touch screen. I was about to touch the screen. That's through Help Now.
Yeah,
That's
Help Now.
another digital resource we have.
Yeah,
in
and
the
that's
library.
Brain Fuse.
From BrainFuse, yes.
Yes, and so that's great for you've got your kids in elementary
We
school.
have a lot, so I'm scrolling through. I don't.
Yeah.
It might be down a little ways, but you can always sort. You can always sort a digital library with little categories.
Yes.
Which, if I can find the mouse, I would do.
And Help Now is so any topic that you have for homework help, there will be answers. There's things you can just look at online, but you can also log in with a tutor too
Yes.
and get one-on-one help there. So that would be another way.
I like
to do
too that they have a writing lab, and
Yes.
this is for students of all ages.
Right.
So from elementary school through college.
Right.
And so you can, if you've worked on a report for school or something,
Right.
you could submit that, and they give you some
They give you
tips and
feedback.
feedback
Yeah.
on your writing.
Or you may need to work on this section a little and maybe include this, or you know, you may want to move this sentence around, and
Yep.
you may want to have your introductory and your ending sentence for a paragraph. Some things that, you know, kids are just learning, so they forget as they progress through their report that each paragraph should be formatted. And so,
Well, I love that the library is always looking for new ways to help young learners with literacy and developing all those skills they need for school and all that good stuff. You guys are always looking out for what's something that can be helpful
Right.
for our customers. And I love that our customers are age 0, just born,
Yeah.
all the way until, you know, we're no longer here.
yeah.
And so I really love that you guys have a great focus on the youth. And so thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. And, you know, just remember kids learn in different ways. So the reason why we have so many different kinds of resources is to help with that, so you can individualize it to your child's needs.
And that's a good point too. If your kiddo is having troubles with, like, oh, well, my first child did this and
Right.
learned this way. I tried to do that with my second child, that it's not
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not everybody at the library is an expert on that, but you can find some help still.
Right.
Come in, ask, like, what are some other ways that my child could learn and,
Yeah.
and explore and learn to read and all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
Right, because some kids are more auditory learners, and then others, they have to do it. To kinetic
Exactly.
learners, where they
Yeah.
actually have to do things
Right.
to learn. So we have things that would probably fit every type of learner that there is out there that we
Awesome.
can help with. So yes, always come in and ask, or call us and ask, or ask us online through.
Ask a librarian.
Yes, and we're happy to help you.
Well, thank you, Mary Ellen, for being here.
You're
This was
welcome.
great.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.